Welcome to Cage Steel TV with me, Dominic Gibbs. I'm the CEO of Cage Steel, and this is our So You Want to Be a Fighter series. This one's the meal and the diet, so we're going to kind of talk about what you can put in your foods, what you would do as a fighter to kind of cut down, cut weight, make weight, where is it that your kind of goals are. If you're not a fighter and you just want to lose a few pounds, then this kind of stuff works as well. So join us with some great produce. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is how the body kind of works. I don't want to get too in depth like into keto diets and into Weight Watchers and stuff like that, or even like intermittent fasting. I'll just tell you as I know it. It's not science. I've done a bit of like nutritional study, but it's not. I don't do this as a profession, so I can only tell you what I've learned on my way. So the body operates off two things in kind of energy sources. One is sugar and one is fat. And as you know, if you eat too much of them, you end up putting weight on. So first thing to do is try and cut the sugars out, but don't like kill yourself in doing that. Just if it's just little bits, and you become better each day, 1% better each day, then you will see a benefit. So cutting sugars out and giving your body good fats, not bad fats, good fats. So your body will realize that it's getting the energy source, and it'll be able to use the energy source that it kind of likes to store. So the body kind of the mind hasn't evolved from Neanderthal time, so it will store the fat so that it knows it's got energy source, and it'll start to cannibalize the body in terms of eating the muscle. So we want to give it some good fats, kind of like nuts and things like that, so that it will realize it's getting that energy source and it'll use it. So we cut out the sugars, give our body good fats, and off we go. Put a bit of exercise in there and you're good to go. That's it, that's all you need to do. So let's talk about a few things that you can eat. So we talked about like getting rid of sugars. Chocolate's a massive thing for people. Really have a difficulty in cutting chocolate out, or biscuits. It's all the snack foods that carry lots of sugars. You've got to tackle that first. It's the snacks that literally destroy diets and things. So if you can get snacks that are good, so like I said, nuts, any kind of nuts, almonds, obviously not salted peanuts that you buy like the back of the bar in your local pub, and pork scratchings, none of that stuff. So good snacks, any kind of almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, go on, test it now, cashews, pistachios, all that kind of stuff. In terms of chocolate, this is what works for me. So replace the chocolate in your house and put the highest cocoa content you can get. So this stuff for me, what it does is it stops me eating chocolate, because when I fancy chocolate and I know that it's 90% chocolate, 90% cocoa, it kind of puts you off. It's not as nice. So if you know you've only got that, that'll stop you doing it. So first thing to do is get rid of snacks in your house. Do not have temptation, and be planned. Know what you're going to eat. Know what your kind of daily intake is. I don't like all this cutting down calories and literally starving yourself. I think it's a terrible way. That is a diet, and the word diet is made up of the word die, and there's a cross at the end. So don't do it. So don't kill yourself in this stuff. You want to eat some good healthy foods. Good healthy foods include things like chicken, which you can get from Prospect House Farm Butchers, who sponsor us. Some rice. We've got some basmati rice here. I kind of haven't looked at what Uncle Ben's and all that is. They're the convenient foods. I haven't looked at them. I haven't looked at what content's in them. I would have thought there'd be some stuff in there that you probably don't want to eat. There probably is sugars. You stick it in a microwave anyway. And I'm kind of a bit thing like this about microwave foods. I think we should eat as much like healthy stuff as you can. So broccoli, a brilliant source of like protein and energy. It's superb. Vegetables, green beans. We can't really, if you've got chicken, rice, broccoli or beans, that's a great meal. Can be a bit dry. try not to chuck stuff in there like loads of mayonnaise or anything like that. Try to use some kind of sauces that are, you know, that you can get. Make sure the sugar content's low. Make sure, like, ideally none. So get rid of sugar. Concentrate on getting rid of sugar. Getting to eat good fats. Okay. So if we made that as a meal, that'd be a fantastic meal. When the guys are in fight camp, you literally get sick of it. Like my last fight camp, I did 16 weeks. Most fighters do some do 6, 8, 10, 12. 16 is a long time, but I had to lose 12 kilograms. So I thought I'd take a longer time. A little bit older as well, so I thought make sure that I don't kill myself doing it. I got sick of eating chicken and rice and broccoli, but it's one of those things you kind of have to, you know, mix it up, chuck some eggs in there, have some poached eggs, scrambled eggs, have some tuna, so tuna and rice, mix it all in there. Tuna and rice is really good. And one of the things is make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. So a pint of water before you eat anything will absolutely improve the amount that you eat. So it's about portion control. I tried, obviously work gets in the way a lot now, but when I was kind of, you know, when I had a real job, I kind of tried to eat 6 times a day, but smaller meals. And that way you're always ticking over. It's called grazing rather than kind of like binging out. If you drink the pint of water before, it cuts down what you need. So a study was done where they took five blokes and they fed them a certain amounts of food during a day, and then the next morning when they woke up, they sat them down, gave them a full English breakfast, literally packed plate, toast, the lot, and every single one of them finished the whole meal. That day they carried on, fed them the same thing as they had the day before. When they woke up the next day, they blindfolded them and gave them the exact same meal, and people finished half, because you kind of designed to eat what's in front of you, because like I said, the Neanderthal brain hasn't really evolved, so you'll eat what you see, you know, and that's the bad thing. So you'll know yourself, you think about that, you've probably ate something, you're stuffed, you're like, oh my God, I'm so full. You didn't need to eat that much food, but because it's there, you kind of feel obliged to eat it. And there's a lot of like not inborn, but like ingrained stuff in our minds. We probably all had parents who'll say, you're sitting at a table, you're not leaving till you've eaten it all, or the one where they say, they really play the mind games with you and say, there's kids starving in Africa, and you feel obliged to eat everything. So we have to kind of break that down. We have to get away from that. Just give yourself a smaller portion, but drink water. So at least 2 litres of water a day. At least 2 litres of water a day. I won't say that enough times. When we're kind of in fight camp, we're picking that up, particularly in the last week. We're doing 2, 3, 4, 5, and like the last day, 6 litres of water. So that it's like water loading, and then you get rid of the water, you strip all your kind of water out of your body. While you're giving your body water, it realises it's getting water, so it doesn't need to retain it, so it will get rid of it. And also the same with fats. If you give it good fats, it realises it's getting fat, and it will kind of use the fat that's there. So done the chocolate, replace your chocolate. Eat some terrible chocolate and you'll stop eating chocolate. Get rid of your snacks. Use the good foods. There's loads of things online that you can get, and we're quite happy to help you. You know, if you want to message in, if you need further advice on this stuff, you know, we'll be there. I'm happy to talk to people. I love this kind of stuff. Using peppers and like paprika and stuff like that is always good. Always good for the food anyway, because it kind of gives that seasoning, but it's good for the body as well. So yeah, crack on with that. And then some other things that I want to talk about. So this is a little trick that I kind of get everybody to do. So most people, you start with the little things. So a good little trick is using coconut oil. Now you can cook and everything with this. You can stick this in your pans, cook with it. It's fantastic stuff. Watch me not be able to open that later. So here we go. Show you there. It's smells amazing, like it's so good. You can cook with that, but also what I do is I cut out having a normal coffee. My go-to drink is cappuccino. I love cappuccinos, but the thing about cappuccinos, you've got loads of milk in there, so there's like lactose and things like that. So when I start to get on it properly, then I'll cut that out. I make myself a nice black coffee. So you want to zoom in on that. Black coffee, and if you look there, you can see the kind of fats that are in there. So that fat is actually this. So you just put like a half spoonful in black coffee. It's absolutely fantastic. It's great. It's good fat. To give your body good fat. The ladies love to do that. When I introduce that to like ladies, they always say that the coconut oil on their lips makes their lips soft. So, you know, I kind of never saw that bit, but when you introduce new thinking. The other thing is getting good vitamins. So particularly now, you know, everyone's talking about immune systems and things like that. Definitely get your immune system up. So this is something that I've always used. I've always like pushed on to people. So echinacea, usually in a tablet form. That's the kind of best way that I like to take it. Echinacea builds up the immune system. Lots of people never heard of it. You kind of take it for like a 1 or 2 week period and then stop for 1 or 2 weeks. Brilliant when you have actually you can feel like a cold coming on. Start taking echinacea and start taking vitamin C. And if you can, every day, take a daily multivitamin. This is from an incredible company called Neutralite. These guys are absolutely obsessed. I'm not kidding you. These are the best that I have come across ever in terms of what they put into them. There's no rubbish in there. These guys are in white coats, scientists studying the best way to create vitamin C and the best ways to grow it, the best places in the world to grow it. So they will only put farms. Vitamin C, they use this kind of big cherry, I can't remember what it's called, and they only grow the best that retain the most vitamin C in California and somewhere in Mexico. So they'll only plant in those places. They are literally obsessed. If you want any advice on that, you want to get hold of any, again, contact me. I'll hook you up with some stuff. But yeah, build your immune system. Make sure you've got a good vitamin, a multivitamin, a daily multivitamin. That's the first thing I'd recommend. There's all sorts at the minute with obviously COVID we're talking about zinc and vitamin D. They're the things that will build your immune system and will keep any bugs away. But that's also the same for cold and flus, you know. So keep fit, keep healthy. The amount of fighters that I've actually that we've saved the fight by echinacea is incredible. And they'll come and they'll say, I'm ill, I don't feel very well. They've always got a cold. You know, they start to cut things out, they're trying to train, they're trying to cut food out. They become ill. I'll post them some echinacea. There'll be loads of fighters that watch this that will be the recipients of this. I'll get their address, I'll find some echinacea, post it off to them, and they manage to fight. So it's a brilliant thing for us that we've tried to push more. So yeah, you know, there's lots that we can go into here. There's so much regarding diet. It's kind of a crazy thing. People talk about personal diet plans and stuff like that. Literally I'll go back to what I said at the start. Cut out sugars, eat good fats, drink plenty of water, cut down your portion control, and do a little bit of exercise. And I'm not talking massive. If you've never done exercise, just do 10 minutes 3 times a day. At the end of the day, it's about being 1% better than you were yesterday, and then be better tomorrow than you were today. Okay, so steady little progress, and don't be put off. You know, throw your scales away for a start. I mean, we're kind of reliant on scales because that's how the fighters make weight. They're all put into a weight category. But if you're not cutting weight for a fight, then get rid of your scales. Measure inches instead. So measure around your stomach and see what you've actually lost. Muscle weighs heavier than fat, so if you start doing exercise, you start stripping the fat out of your body, and the scales will tell you that you're weighing heavy and you'll be put off, and that'll just send you crazy. So get rid of scales, use the inches instead, and just be prepared for it to come off slowly, and don't be kind of put off by it. But you know, there's so many things that you can do. I could talk all day about diet, meal prep, and things like that. And when we talk about it for a fighter, you know, it's about keeping so many carbs in while they're kind of training, and then cutting those carbs out so that we can cut that weight. It is a very scientific process, and we're kind of happy to speak to someone more. I mean, we kind of do this with fighters that fight on the show anyway. I've kind of had talks. I can remember, so I'll share a little story with you. I won't name the fighter, but I think it was his debut fight, or certainly debut at that weight. And I kind of had to talk him down the kind of weight cutting. And we got to the kind of day before, and he sent me his weight, and I'm like, mate, you've done it. You'll be on weight. It's fine. Now he thought at that point he was gonna have to like starve his body for the night. And I'm like, mate, you can go and eat an hard-boiled egg. And I literally see this message back. You'd have thought that I'd said to him, I've just bought you a Ferrari. He actually said to me, that's the best message I've ever received. You know, he was buzzing because he could eat his hard-boiled egg. So when it comes to like fighters on our show, we will actually help you in terms of the diet. There's so many people that have, you know, we've got so much like kind of knowledge and expertise, particularly the people around us as well. So we can definitely help you with that. And if it's just about you not wanting to fight, or you want to train, but you know, you kind of just want to lose some weight, and people have, you know, they talk to us about lockdown weight, as they've called it, and they just want to get rid of it. So just get in touch with us, you know, we'll help you out wherever we can. We can kind of guide you on bits of meal plans and things like that. But it is about being planned, so know what you're eating for the next days and be prepared. Make those meals up. You know, there's nothing wrong with on a Sunday getting around the kind of kitchen area, get some tubs that you can put them in, and make 3, 4, 5 days worth of meals up, because I guarantee you, if you've got some food that you can just go and get, and you know you can just kind of warm that up, you're sorted. If you haven't got that, you will go to the chip shop. Okay, and that's when it all becomes bad. So, but on the chip shop thing, don't obviously kill yourself. You know, if you're not in the fight camp, if it's not 6 weeks to go, and it is just about maintaining a weight and stuff, you can have those off days. You can have a day when you cheat days. You know, everyone's heard of cheat day. Have that cheat day. Do not go too crazy, and I kind of say, you know, stay away from the stuff like McDonald's and KFC, because they're not going to fill you up. The toxins and everything in it is just not good for you. You know, if you're gonna eat a pizza or something like that, eat something that's not as kind of terrible as McDonald's. I don't support McDonald's. But yeah, you know, have those cheat days. But what I would say is, make the cheat day a kind of a celebration for yourself. So you've gone all week, you've ate healthy, you've not touched chocolate, you cut your sugar intake down. You know what you're eating now, so you know what you need to eat tomorrow that's less sugar and more good fats than, you know, tomorrow, so than it was today. So you know what you're doing. Cut that out. When you get to the end of the week, Sunday comes along, you've had 6 days of eating healthy, you've done your 3 times a week exercise, you are going to have put yourself in a better position. You should have lost some inches off your stomach and things like that, weight, wherever it is that you want to lose it. You can then reward yourself. There's nothing wrong with reward and recognition. Reward yourself with a kind of takeaway meal, and then back on it Monday and do it again. And it's breaking it down into kind of more manageable chunks. The problem is, people say, I want to lose 2 stone. And that's difficult to lose 2 stone, but you could lose a pound. And then another pound, and another pound, and another pound. So a little story is that 2013 I ran the London Marathon, and long story short, I couldn't train for it. I got 3 weeks out, I got a calf problem, or what I thought was a calf problem. I went to an osteopath that I used, and we discovered that I'd fractured my foot. So we was like, don't run. But I decided to run. I didn't run the marathon. I was running for NSPCC. I raised like £2,500. What I did, the kind of parents and stuff, they take the kids, and the kids are at the side of the road with their hand held high, ready for a high five. So what I did is I ran to the next high five. That's what you got to do. Don't run a marathon. Run the next step, or the next high five, or the next kilometre. With this, lose the next pound, lose the next pound and the next pound. So go from week to week. That week you're going to eat healthy for 6 days and then you're going to have a reward. Break it down, manageable chunks. It's with every kind of goal setting. Stop looking at the top of the ladder. You've got to take that first rung. To get to that top, each rung one at a time. Break your kind of journey down into rungs, manageable chunks, and you will get there. So if you are trying to lose weight, I wish you all luck. It's not that easy. You've got to kind of train your mind to it. It's about mental toughness. We are here to help you in anything that you need. So get in touch with us and we'll help you along that journey. And hope it goes well. If you are a fighter, you may need more kind of talk on exactly what you need to do for the fight camp. Your coaches will help you with that, your training partners and other people that have gone through the journey. So it's always better to walk in someone else's footsteps across a minefield. They've already done it, it's safe. So watch them, listen to them, get the advice off them. Come to us, talk to us and we will help you. But yes, there you go. That is Cage Steel TV. So you want to be a fighter series and it's the meal and diet episode.